So, I was browsing the Steam games recently that came out. One was basically called Nomad here. And I figured it's got a demo. It looks interesting enough. Let's check it out. This is basically a survival game in the vein of like, say, like, Zomboid or like, 7 Days to Die sort of idea. Basically, there's like lots of zombies all around. You're basically trying to survive. You have to sort of like MacGyver your way in this situation and out of them and such. Manage your resources and such. Alright, so Nomad, checking Steam, starting game. I assume the main game is a little bit better than that, but whatever. English, please. So right off the bat, we know that there's Portuguese, Spanish, Chinese, and looks like Russian or Creole or something like that. So limited video settings, but it's fine. There's the audio. We're just going to turn that down a little bit. So there's co-op apparently. That makes me wonder if like there's like, online co-op or if it's just like, local co-op. Online co-op, so, no reason basically to possibly get it. So, I am DFuxa. So you got like, really create your character here and like that, so whatever. Female, male. Change your skin color. A few hair colors. Got some facial hair. And facial hair can be a different color. That's nice. I actually like this idea because I'll note that I'm actually a person that actually has like brown head hair, but like, a black like facial hair, so. I assume there's probably more, by the way, in terms of like, stuff in the main game, or there will be perhaps, but who knows. There we go. Let's go with this. So you got easy, normal, permadeath. Respawn at checkpoint. Enemies have lower health and deal less damage. Contamination increases more slowly. Items have more greater durability. Respawn at the last checkpoint. Items take damage upon respawning. Or upon death, the game ends permanently. So you do have like your permadeath if you want. It'd be interesting to see if like the permadeath basically deletes the save file or not, but whatever. Alright, so moving around, use WASD, look around by pressing the right button. Change the camera distance using the mouse wheel. I hate using the mouse wheel for anything, but or rotate the camera around by pressing the mouse wheel. That's even worse. Alright, well, whatever. You can use the mouse wheel to zoom around, zoom in, zoom out. But, pro tip to any developer, don't use the mouse wheel, they just suck. Press control or wheel to change selected objects. So control, again, you got the wheel being used for stuff or whatever. Up to this point, I can accompany you, my friend. I advise you to gather everything that's left around here. Fix that old motorcycle outside and leave here as soon as possible. When we arrived, we saw a shed at the end of the road. There might be materials there to repair the motorcycle. Remember to keep an eye on your contamination meter. These monsters seem to behave differently the more polluted the environment is. Be careful. At the moment, we don't know of any method to stop the spread of contamination, so we have to keep running away from it. But those monsters, we can kill them. Good luck. Alright, so we got a cute bag here apparently. It'd be nice if there was like, you know, a quick pickup or something like that, but whatever. Equip new objects, so... Oh good, we got like a timer basically going along. How nice. We got hunger, we got like, you know, something else here. Apparently I can punch for a left click here. You didn't actually tell me how to interact with like, you know, inventory. So it's tab for inventory. What am I equipping here? Okay, there we go. We put on the inventory, so I got more bags. Like I would prefer basically to have like, you know, right mouse button to like, you know, zoom the camera around, stuff like that. I'm more if I can actually do that. I see up, down, left, right, sprint. Looks like this pauses by in single player, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't see anything to sort of interact with, like, you know, if you want to basically change the wheel button. So that's not great, but you know, whatever. Here's the Alexander's controls video. Is there more to equip here? Yes, there's this. So we use the thing here. What am I missing here? The gun. Okay, so you can right click basically stuff to sort of like, you know, do stuff. So it's basically harvesting here. You can basically harvest some like, you know, berries and rocks and other stuff. Get that going. You need a tool to basically do all that, but that's fine. All right, craft a stone tool. So we go in here. This is where we get like the 7 days to die sort of thing. We're basically crafting, so. There we go, stone tool, we can craft this. Now, something interesting about this game is I basically have like this sort of like, you know, oops, okay, so did that wrong. But basically you're crafting stuff with like, you know, keys down here. Collect water from a collector, drink water, eat something. Yeah, but I'm not basically about the, you know, the camera. It'd be nice if I could rotate with like say Q or something like that. I guess they got like, you know, this stuff here, but you know, I'd rather like the camera controls be something else than like this stuff here. All right, we gotta collect the water, so collect it. Gotta drink the water. So there we go. My water, as my water like down here, so it's fine. Versus 100, eat something. What is there to eat? Rocks, water, stick. There's berries, cherries. So you can dispense this with a tool. I know I have a tool. Where is it? Okay, there we go. I have to equip your tool. A little bit of a slow process, but it's fine. Car hose, scrap, all sorts of stuff. You can use this to repair a motorcycle, so we'll grab that stuff there. Cool. So we can add stuff here. Break the door with a melee weapon, pointing toward the door, and by pressing the action button, right click, press E. Craft fuel can with fuel barrel from the manufacturing panel. Okay, finally this guy died. He's got nothing. Yes, I could shoot them, but there's no need to. This guy had some stuff on him. Let's just eat that and be done with it. Break the door with a melee weapon, pointing toward the door and pressing the action. Fix my bike and come to my camp, it says. Okay. Full inventory, so let's drop this. Pick up the fuel barrel. So there's a fuel can. Okay, so let's go get this fixed up. So add. We have car battery, exhaust pipe. Car battery and exhaust pipe. Maybe they're in here. I'll zoom out a little bit more, I think. There's the exhaust pipe. There's the car battery. There's a cane here, apparently. Oh, cone. So, you call them cones, that's fine. Pylons, traffic cones, whatever. Interesting how stuff is being used to sort of like, you know, stand in the air and stuff. So, insufficient material. We need sticks for that. So I could use this to craft some sticks if I want to. But whatever. Find a sleeping bag, improve the camp by interacting with the camp book. Now I used to like using like E and Q to sort of warp around, not the mouse wheel, so whatever. Where's the camp book? Right here. Wasn't probably supposed to pick that, open, but whatever. You're supposed to go to the outpost. This isn't really telling me what to do, but I guess we're supposed to go to the outpost now, so... Oh, here we go. Here's the thing right here. See an upgrading camp. Use sleeping bag. Storage box, other stuff. Park the bike in the parking area so you don't lose the vehicle during the trip. I don't know where I have a sleeping bag, because I don't. Okay. I don't have a sleeping bag. I just realized, by the way, the stamina is basically based off, like, how much water we have here, so... That's worth keeping in mind. This guy's body's done. I know I picked up a sleeping bag. Where did I put it, though? I may have just screwed myself over because I may have, most quickly go back here. Let's remake this again, player. It could be a tutorial, it's very easy to break because it is the demo, so that's just something to keep in mind. Pick up stuff here, read the book. Put those on. This will be a lot faster because I basically know what I'm supposed to do here, right? So let's get all this, get the stone tool. Cool. Made it a little better at time. Put that there. Collect the drinking water. Use it. Eat something. Just have to break this down again. I'm guessing the amount of food we eat will dictate how much health we'll have. Okay, we got all that stuff. Cool. Let's pull out the gun. And we'll use the club. I'll probably learn about bullets later, so. Down to go. Equipable object that will modify your appearance and stats. Cool girl 1. I can't wear these clothes apparently, maybe because I'm my girl. Fix the bike, kind of my camp it says. Let's drop this. Drop the sticks. There we go. Get some of that. Let's just go quickly repair this, I guess. Not what I want to do. There we go. Add. Car wheel and battery. So let's just go get those. Yoink. And battery. Cool, find a sleeping bag. This time got right there, so we haven't lost it. Where I put the sleeping bag? Okay, there we go, we found it. I dropped it, picked it up. Tech controls on vehicles, obviously, so whatever. So upgrade this. We need cones for that, so find some cones, upgrade the camp's parking area to travel with your vehicle. There we go, got the cones. It's just a bug with, like, you know, something there. That's fine. Let's go get some gas cans. Use the camp book to travel to new destinations. Well, before I do, let's just collect what we can from here. Wood plank. There's the wood trunks. Swing it rather than, like, you know, harvesting it. But yeah, it's very, like, you know, 7 Days to Die sort of thing here, where we're chopping down trees and doing, like, a little tutorial at the start. There we go, timber. Okay, cool. Guess we'll have to find some scrap for that, but at least we got something done. Alright, well, it wants me to go elsewhere, so let's go elsewhere. Travel. I guess unlike, say, 70 Days to Die or, you know, other games like, you know, Cataclysm or Zomboid or whatever, it's not as open world. It's basically a little bit more, you know, you're a nomad traveling from place to place. I need to reduce my hunger, apparently.
Are you ready?
You can buy stuff from this guy, apparently. Okay. Stack stuff in here you don't need, so stack this stuff. I'm surprised there's like no, like, you know, degradation of food after a while, but it's fine. Use that up. Never really put that on. Let's put it on. Alright, now we just get to look around. So thank you very much for playing the demo. I hope you enjoy it and consider purchasing a full version of the game. With the demo, you won't be able to travel to more stages after the tutorial. Thank you for taking your time. That's fine. You know, I wish I could, like, you know, zoom down a little bit more, but, you know, it is probably very basic, the game. Now, something I just want to show off here. These guys, they have, like, you know, like, you know, one guy's coming toward me now. Just going to grab a gun here. Whoops, forgot to reload it again. I'll figure out how to fire in a moment, but let's kill these guys. Oh, I took a hit. That's fine. There's a cabbage. A jacket. Cool, I can put in a jacket. So the variant protection, that's worth knowing. This is a weapon, so use it. Knocked off his head. Yeah, note that they like don't see me, these guys, so I'm able to just clock them. Okay, start facing the wall, I guess. There we go. There's a wood plank. Let's get this all over here. So there's like sticks and stuff like that. You make like, you know, a wood club. So less damage to my current weapon, but whatever, you need a weapon, there's a weapon. Okay, let's see here. I want to figure out how to basically fire my weapon, so let's just go check that out. Melee, shotgun, large gun. Aim with right mouse button maybe, so... Ah, okay, so there we go. Now, you notice that these guys haven't really been like, doing anything, but as soon as they fire... Oh, maybe they aren't reacting to me. Reload a little bit here. Down he goes. There's an onion. More clothing. There's a sheriff, bear armor. I think I just realized something that, like, you know, some of this like clothing. Okay, maybe I can't wear them, but you know, they could also be like the fact that, like, you know, I can put them on, but they change my clothing, and I may not want that. Another onion, scarf. Down he goes. I probably don't need to basically pick up everything I basically see, but you know, obviously there's like lots of different stuff you can basically wear if you want to. There are no materials apparently. I could probably repair these vehicles by to use them if I want to, but whatever. Well, you know what? I'm trying to repair these as opposed to, like, you know. So you can actually hold down if you want to, you know, attack. I should keep that in mind. There's a cooked can. Getting a little tired there. Scuba gear or something. Okay, it's nighttime at this point, so okay, I expect these guys to be a little more responsive, like, you know, you wandering around killing them like this, but I guess not. There's a rock. You find a stick to deal with this. Excellent. Let's just drop the clothing. We're not actually using it, so. And again, sort of shift click if you want, basically quickly, like, you know, run through the stuff and grab it. Cool. I got hit there, and I died. Well, I got defeated, so that means like we get to see what happens when you die in permadeath. And you just remake the profile, so what's probably going to happen here. So yeah, we're basically back in here, like, you know, the tutorial. Honestly, if you have the checkpoints, that's not as big of an issue, but, you know, that's fine. So yeah, just a quick look at Nomad there. I thought it might be an interesting game to sort of check out, because, you know, it reminded me a little bit of, like, you know, 7 Days to Die. Not really a big fan of the camera angles, but I mean, that's just more of like a preference than anything else. So, usually, like, you know, zombie survival type of game, but in third person. Not much more saying that, so take care.